This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, you're watching Pulse of Africa. I'm Jalani Tesfaye for the main news. First, our top stories for today. DR Congo and Rwandan presidents voice support for ceasefire. IGAD emphasized mediation efforts to end Sudan war. Trump and Putin reach energy and infrastructural ceasefire in Ukraine. Fitch cuts global economic growth forecasts. Now, the news in detail. Democratic Republic of the Congo President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwandan President Paul Kagame have held direct talks for the first time since M23 rebels seized two major cities in eastern DRC. In a joint statement issued with Qatar, whose emir mediated the talks in Doha, the leaders reaffirmed their commitment to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, as agreed at a February summit held in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. The heads of state then agreed on the need to continue the discussions initiated in Doha in order to establish solid foundations for lasting peace, the statement said. Now to Sudan. As the war in Sudan has persisted for 2 years, Executive Secretary of Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, Workneh Gebeyo, emphasized the need for reinforcing coordination and cooperation amongst special envoys and representatives. On the first day of the IGAD Forum of Special Envoys on harmonizing mediation efforts for the Sudan peace process in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Executive Secretary Workneh said unified mediation efforts offers the best path to a negotiated resolution. As Sudan's war enters its second year, our focus and thoughts remain with our Sudanese brothers and sisters despite the challenges. I believe a unified mediation effort offers the best path to a negotiated resolution, he underscored. The forum is organized to establish a unified and concrete approach to resolving the conflict in Sudan, reaffirming IGAD's commitment to a Sudanese-owned and Sudanese-led peace process. Moving to Somalia. The Al-Shabaab Islamist group detonated a bomb on Tuesday, moments after a presidential convoy passed by in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, destroying a building and damaging cars. Government sources said President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed was traveling to Hirshabelle state, where the army is reportedly planning a major offensive against Al-Shabaab. The explosion went off along the road in Hamar Dajab area, destroying a civilian-populated building, a security official said. Al-Shabaab, an Al-Qaeda-linked armed group, claimed responsibility for the attack. Shifting to Nigeria. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency on Tuesday in oil-producing Rivers State and suspended the state governor, his deputy, and all lawmakers. Tinubu, in a television broadcast, said he had received security reports in the last 2 days of disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without the government taking any action to curtail them. With all these and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, added Tinubu. Police said earlier they were investigating the cause of a blast in Rivers State that resulted in a fire on Nigeria's Trans-Niger pipeline, a major oil artery transporting crude from onshore oil fields to the Bonny export terminal. In other news, U.S. President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin agreed in a phone call on Tuesday that the peace in Ukraine will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire. Meanwhile, they agreed to immediately launch technical negotiations on the implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, as well as on the full ceasefire and permanent peace in Ukraine, the White House said in a statement. These negotiations will begin immediately in the Middle East, said the statement, noting the two leaders agreed that the 3-year Ukraine conflict needs to end with a lasting peace. The two leaders stressed the need for improved US-Russia relations, said the statement. Shifting to our next story. Unrelenting rains in southern Spain have triggered flash flood and evacuation orders in the Andalusian provinces of Malaga and Cordoba, where 19 waterways are at red level for risk of flooding. One body has been found and at least 3 more people are reported missing. The risk posed by the rising waters has also led authorities to close off roads, cancel classes, and suspend railroad service on 3 lines. In the nearby region of Murcia, southeastern Spain, several passengers were injured after a bus overturned on the A7 highway, while 9 people were trapped inside 2 cars in Aguilas, a popular coastal destination.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Turning to business news. Cobalt prices soared on Monday, helped in part by panic over the ban on exports of the battery material by the Democratic Republic of Congo. On China's Wuxi Stainless Steel Exchange on Monday, cobalt trading was paused after prices jumped nearly 12%, the highest since October. Prices also rose in Europe. 2 weeks ago, Kinshasa, the world's biggest producer, announced a surprise ban on exports of cobalt in a bid to drive prices up. Authorities said the 4-month moratorium aimed to stabilize the market burdened by oversupply. Finally, US-based credit agency Fitch lowered its global GDP growth forecast to 2.3% for 2025 on Tuesday, down 0.3 percentage points. The new US administration has started a global trade war that will reduce US and world growth, push up US inflation, and delay Federal Reserve rate cuts, Fitch said. These rates are well below trend and down from almost 3% annual growth in 2023 and 2024, it said. Fiscal easing in China and Germany will cushion the impact of higher US import tariffs, but growth in the Eurozone this year will still be a lot weaker than forecast in the December GEO, Global Economic Output report. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That is all for today, and thanks for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.